My name is Peter Winslow. I'm here to have a conversation with Reverend Lewis Williams, who's with Cross and Crescent. Reverend Williams, you've been a longtime resident of West Philadelphia, and you've worked with the community not only in their spiritual needs, but their practical needs. What's happened recently in West Philadelphia that you think a public bank could be helpful about?
The problems that we've seen in a community of color is from the old days when redlining was the thing of the day. We know that it still goes on in certain banks and other mortgage lenders. And so we're always fighting that kind of thing. What we have seen in my community is getting a loan or getting a mortgage from, like I said, the banks or the mortgage lenders. It always seems to be a problem, even though we may have the same credentials as a white applicant. It just seems to be a little pushback all the time. So one thing a public bank could do is help level the playing field in that particular area, because we see it all the time.
Certainly, the redlining problem is one that can be very well policed by a public bank because of its participation in loans, either as a guarantor or in other ways supporting the programs. People at all stages of their lives need to have financial help and need to have access. And that's something that a public bank can provide. For affordable housing can certainly be assisted by the public bank. In the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd, there was unrest everywhere, and some of it came to your neighborhood up on the commercial corridor of 52nd Street. Can you tell us about that? And let's think about how a public bank could help that situation.
We in the West Philadelphia area, specifically in the 52nd Street corridor and the 60th Street corridor, which are all generally small businesses. These businesses are Islamic businesses, Black businesses. Now, of course, we have big box stores like McDonald's, and we have the Foot Locker and other big stores like that. The thing with them is that, as you probably are aware, they are able to refurnish all of their products. Now, when the looting started on 52nd Street and 60th Street, of course, people will say, well, there's people looting their own neighborhoods, but we know for a fact that just wasn't the case. In that chaos, there were 3 police cars that were set afire. There was looting, like I said. They were building a couple of buildings burning. And the small businesses that are on 52nd Street and 60th Street, which are really the heart of those shopping areas. People come from all over to shop there. And so what we had was just chaos. We had the police in every intersection. They were throwing smoke bombs to try to break up certain people. An Islamic friend of mine and myself, once we got here, we took to the street and started walking around. There was a skinhead. There was a swastika on his cheek. And for these people that are small businesses, they're living day to day. They don't have resources in order to restock, which is the big part of any business, is having your stock. I go into a couple of stores now that are open. I still see tears being shed. I still see half of the stock gone and not replaced. And so what I want to know in a situation like that, we don't know whether it ever happen again or not, but we have to know that these small businesses can go someplace and have another start on life. Can the public bank help us with that?
Yes, Louis, it can. The recovering from disasters is something that public banks are extraordinarily good at. They have a wonderful track record of being able to help people and help them quickly with working capital loans, as you're talking about, to replace inventory and to deal with situations where people are not able to afford or able to obtain adequate insurance, and they are caught in a situation where they don't have cash reserves. So a public bank can help in all of these situations.
Well, if that's the case, it sounds like a win-win for small businesses.